Hi and welcome. I have my tea. I have a new mug. Look, it's a beautiful mug. I ordered it in, September last year, and I only just got it. And here's how I got it. Hi, my name's Georgia, and this is Georgia Unplugged, and welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you're new. I haven't got that many returning viewers, maybe me and someone else, I don't know. So I went to the coolest concert on Wednesday night. It was so cool. It was a classical concert at the Gaststeig here, which is the main concert venue in Munich. They're redoing the main place, and it's a new location, which is all concretey, modern, super cool. And I've been there before. My kids did a day of dancing and testing different dances out, like street dance and hula hooping, whatever. But this was a concert, and I got a free ticket because my brother is a classical musician, and he's worked with some great names. I mean, he's worked with, people from Radiohead. Actually, he was on the last Taylor Swift album as well. I think 10 tracks or something. Recorded those a few months before the album came out last year. But anyway, name dropping aside, it doesn't matter. It's my little brother, who I remember playing the violin. And he was little, bless him. He was cute. But anyway, so yeah, I saw a poster back in January, I think, saying 26th of February, hang on a minute, you sometimes play with this orchestra. It's called the Aurora Orchestra, and they're famous for playing without music. They memorise entire pieces and play it all, including the conductor, who memorises every instrument and everything. It's just incredible. If you know anything about orchestral music and classical music, it's a whole another level of memory and timing and volume, just amazing. I mean, I used to play the piano. I come from quite a musical family, but I gave that up when I was about 15 because I didn't like practicing and I didn't like my teacher. He used to tap with his pencil, and it was just, I was 15. So yeah, I saw the poster, took a picture, went, "Oi, are you coming and playing in this concert in Munich?" He went, "Yes, and I told you about it ages ago." So I went back in our messages, and he had actually told me in November, but we'd forgotten. So he managed to get me a ticket. Unfortunately not two, so my husband couldn't come along. My almost 10-year-old had offered to babysit her little brother for 20 euros, which would have been okay. And he said he'd be good for 5 euros. So that still would have been cheaper than a babysitter. And she's quite responsible. But we only got one ticket because it was basically sold out. And off I toodled, went along, very tired because I'd been out the night before to an open evening at a school with my husband for my daughter. As she's transitioning, I've talked about this before, to the next school, and we have to choose which school to go to. So I was tired anyway because I normally go to bed with the kids, and just you can see bags under my eyes. So tired. Went out the night before, so then I went to the concert. I drove because public transport's a bit of a mess down there, which meant I couldn't really drink, which is a good thing because I don't like to drink, but with my brother it's normally. So there I was, sitting in basically the best seat, row 9 in the middle, level with the conductor. Seat next to me was empty, which could have been for my husband. Hello. So my coat had an equally expensive seat. And then next to me was another guy speaking English to someone else. He obviously was part of the orchestra somehow, because it was these few seats that obviously they'd reserved. And I was kind of half listening, thinking, yeah, English voices, quite nice. And the first half, it was just insane. It was two halves. The first half was this South African cellist who was amazing. And the second half was Beethoven's 7th Symphony, memorised completely. You can look it up. They played it at the Proms last year at the Royal Albert Hall with, I think, basically the same musicians. They've got YouTube clips and things like that, and my brother's just there on the viola. And so they obviously memorised it last year, but maybe he's not getting younger. Neither a lot of the people. A lot of them are young, but there's some older looking people like me, grey hairs. But incredible musicians. Playing music keeps you young, neuroplasticity. If you're having trouble with your memory, it is advised to learn an instrument because it rewires your brain very differently. So that I was very excited to go to this concert. Not sure about Beethoven because it's not my favourite, but he can be cool. Seventh Symphony is actually a really nice one. And the first half, I thought it would just be this cellist guy playing some cello music. Who was I wrong? Wow. I mean, it was insane. He writes his own music, but also some might have been traditional, I'm not sure. He spoke, first of all, had a microphone. I'm thinking, strange. The soloist speaks. And turns out he's playing the cello, playing mad stuff and weird sounds, and then he starts singing, and he has this incredible voice, and it's like real South African, just real kind of earthy music, and it's so beautiful. And his voice goes so deep, like Mongolian throat singing. He went really low and really deep, and this and you could hear the sound reverberating through the whole thing. I mean, he had a microphone, and my brother told me afterwards that all that music was amplified with speakers anyway, so we did hear it louder. And he was to the left of the conductor, well, to my left, and then opposite him to the right was his percussionist, this guy called Gerhard Simpelberger or something like that, an Austrian guy, who looked just like Chris Martin. He had a cute little beanie on, and I've never seen someone enjoy themselves so much, especially on stage. He was profiled to me, and Abel Salat, how do you pronounce it? Salachui, that's the cellist, Abel, and the Austrian guys in percussion, and they were playing together, and obviously all planned, but there seemed to be some off-the-cuff things, and they were just constantly like looking at each other and smiling, and he was just smiling all the time, this percussionist. He was loving every minute. The energy was amazing, and he was just this big, like Chris Martin, this big kind of toothy smile that he had, like big mouth and happy face, and just wonderful. It was honestly, I wish I could have shared it with someone, because I was just there by myself, and I saw my brother come on and kind of waved at him a bit. You know, he used to love, in fact even now, he loves someone being in the audience because he feels like he's playing to them rather than a bunch of strangers. And especially in Munich, where tickets are very expensive, it's basically really, really old people who are almost dead who go to these concerts. The people who live in my area mostly. So it was quite refreshing to see some younger people who obviously maybe knew about the cellist guy. Honestly, it was incredible. I haven't been to a classical concert I went to the opera in January with my daughter's school, but an actual concert, probably over a year, more than that maybe, when my brother probably last played. I should go to more, and not just when he gets me a free ticket, because I do love it. I love the kind of this beautiful energy washes over you when you hear classical music. I remember once going with my dad when he visited to a Mozart Clarinet Concerto concert at the Residence in Munich, a much smaller venue. And I was really stressed. I'd had a really hard day at work, I think. And my dad was always quite hard work when he came to visit anyway. And I sat there, and they came on, and they started playing, and then the clarinet started playing, and I just felt my entire body relax, like you do maybe having a glass of wine after a really stressful day. It was that physical reaction, and it was to the music. And that's still one of my favourite pieces that I put on when I'm stressed, because it takes me back to that. It was incredible, and it's music in all ways is amazing. Classical music is its own speciality. It has a special place in my heart, and it was so nice. And then he played an encore, and he got a standing ovation. This guy, and apparently his voice wasn't even that healthy. He was struggling a bit. So if his voice is healthy, I mean, he's playing, I think, Hamburg tomorrow night, and in fact they're broadcasting it live. If I post this in time, then, or maybe they're playing Sunday night, I don't know. If I post this in time, then I'll post a link to the live link that you guys could watch it. Oh gosh, what's wrong with my hair today? It's gone all over the place. That maybe watch it in time, you could watch some of it, because although you won't get the energy, but I might watch it because it's going to be so amazing. And I'm almost speechless because I'm still full of energy, even though this was Wednesday night, it's now Friday, so over a day ago. And it was so great seeing my brother there. So they went off for break, and I had this great seat where everyone walks past, so I had leg room. So the minute it was break time after the encore, I did wait for people to leave. I shot out, bought myself a glass of wine, sat there and just watched all the people, because I couldn't have any more after that as I was driving back. And it was a really nice break time, just me, not even on my phone, I was texting my brother a bit, because he then turned his phone back on saying wow, but then both went back into airplane mode. And that was that, saying okay, see you at after the second part, you know, let's go for a drink together. They came on, and honestly, the Beethoven thing was incredible. It's the first concert they've played on this little tour of Germany, because UK orchestras can't tour Europe anymore en masse because they need a visa for every country they go to because of Brexit. It's really affected orchestras and their ability to play in Europe. So it's a Germany only little tour. They're playing, I think, 7 or 8 different places. And so it was still amazing. I mean, it wasn't the energy of before, but I feel like everyone was still wow about the energy. And it's a beautiful symphony, and just watching them all, they're all standing, they don't sit, apart from the people that have to, like cello players. And it's a much smaller orchestra than normal. In fact, you should check out the prom, because that's basically what they looked like. I came back after the break and all the chairs were gone. So here they are, standing, and they said afterwards an hour of standing playing music is hard on their legs, as well as that, like, exhausting for the musicians. And they're playing, they have space as well to move around. And then after that, Nicholas Collin, the conductor, he spoke in German because he spent a while studying in Cologne, I think. And it was sweet, his little Anglified German, basically saying, and now just a little extra for you, so you see what it's like from being within the orchestra, how it sounds. And because we'd been made to sing along with Abel in the first half, he was doing some music and the whole audience was singing this repetitive song. It was just magic. It felt like this magic energy. I thought, I know they're going to make us sing or something, or make the sounds. But what happened was, suddenly the orchestra left the stage and they all came out the side doors and they walked into the crowd. I'm going, oh wow, they're coming out. And then this blonde girl comes running towards me, and it's my brother's girlfriend, and she goes, Georgia, and gives me a massive hug. I go, whoa, I didn't know you were here. I hadn't spotted her because she's violin and he's viola. And then he comes out and he stands just in front of me. He goes, hi, you alright? My brother looks at the guy next to me. He goes, hi. Later on I find out he's the boss of the orchestra, so he's a man, he's the managing director or whatever. And basically my brother stands there, and he had some solos as well in this little piece they played, like 2 minutes or something, and I could hear him playing, and I haven't heard him play for quite a long time. And he has a beautiful, beautiful instrument, this deep viola sound. It's deeper than a violin, and you could feel the vibration in you. I could hear his girlfriend a little bit, but I could hear his solos, and it was so moving because I haven't seen him for 18 months, and then suddenly he's there playing, and he deliberately stood next to me so I could hear him play, and his little solos. So they got a standing ovation as well. I mean, I would have paid money to go and see that with hindsight now about the concert. So everyone that went, I think, was just in awe of the whole concert, the energy of the musicians. The conductor's always full of energy anyway. He's just smiling. Everyone's smiling, you know. It's not one of those dowdy old orchestras where all the old people going, Beethoven again, I've been playing it for 50 years, you know. It's a young, fresh orchestra, and it's just beautiful. It made my week, because life is a little bit stressful at the moment, like it is for everyone, not just really world news, as I try to ignore that, but just in general, lots of things happening. Daughter was sick again. But this was just the highlight of my week, and I had a bit of alone time, driving there, driving back, and the break time, and just being there. But I focused, I didn't think of other things, I wasn't distracted and worried. I just focused on the moment and being there and thinking, I should do this more often. I should just take time and do things, go to a concert, go to the cinema. It was so beautiful. And then I met them both afterwards. It was so great that his girlfriend was there as well. I was so happy. I haven't seen her for at least 2 years, I think, when they came to visit. She's from Iceland, a really cute Icelandic girl. She's wonderful. She's very good for him, actually. My brother's a bit of a scatty musician. And so we went for a drink. Went for a drink to the pub opposite. Basically the entire orchestra went to the same pub. That always happens. And I officially met the boss who was next to me. I met the conductor, who was discussing our similarities and do we actually look alike and stuff. And you know, and he's playing one of the city where my sister lives as well. She also lives in Germany, another city, and she's going there. I'm not sure what day it is, but she's also going to get to see him. So that's kind of a nice little thing, you know. We almost by part, he took something for her that I gave him, so it's, you know, passing on things. So it was cool. It was really nice, and really nice seeing them. And then he was supposed to bring a power of attorney for my mum. That's a whole other thing. because we need to unfortunately help her more. But he hadn't sorted that out because, you know, he's my brother, he's doing very well, but no one's perfect. I said, well, you know, do it tomorrow morning and send it to me and I can print it. The problem is I had to print it. But then he just went, oh God, no, late night. It was after 11 by that point. And they had to travel yesterday up to Bielefeld, which is the town that doesn't exist in Germany, some satirical thing. But they didn't have to leave till 11. So I got hubby to say, come on, let's go and see them in the morning. Went back down, other side of Munich unfortunately, but went back down to where they were and had breakfast in the hotel, mediocre hotel breakfast, a very orchestra hotel really. And the best bit was that the conductor, the percussionist and the soloist were all in the same hotel, and they were all just there, all hanging out, everyone's just chatting, just a really cool crowd. I know my brother has toured with Lang Lang before, the pianist. I think they did a China tour a few years ago, and the orchestra all stayed in these mediocre hotels again, and Lang Lang was in some massive 5-star hotel with the conductor because they get special treatment. And it was really nice to see everyone together on, like, doing the same stuff, playing music, loving it, staying at the same hotel. So we had breakfast, caught up a bit with my brother, and his girlfriend. She had to go meet another friend who lives in Munich. Musicians travel a lot, obviously, so they always know someone in a city. And it was cool. It was just really, really nice. You know, just so nice seeing him. I don't see him enough. We get on really well. He's 5 years younger than me. But, you know, when I went to university at 19, he was 14 then. And he then went to a music school, like a boarding music school at that age. And I didn't really see him that much. I don't see him that often. We do message. The three of us have a couple of WhatsApp groups going. One for my mum, one for general banter. But yeah, I wish I could see him more, and we need to sort that out really. Maybe this year's the year that we'll get to England to spend some time with him. And he has a daughter who lives with her mum, who he sees not enough, and she's 12 now. She's wonderful. She's such a sweet girl. She's just wonderful. She read all the Harry Potter books when she was 7 and 8 or something. Just an amazing little reading prodigy. But yeah, so that was just great. That was a highlight of my week. I'm so happy about that. And I'm so happy my sister will get to see it as well. I haven't told her about the crowd thing, how they came out, because God, I don't know what to do with my hair. Tight back here. Crazy curls. Because that was such a nice surprise, I wouldn't want to ruin it for her. So yeah, so the point was my mug. I ordered this mug from Heathcote and Ivory last autumn. It's so beautiful. And I'm trying to get rid of things. I got rid of loads of mugs I didn't need. We only have about 7 mugs now, 6-7 mugs, which is, you know, plenty. And I had this tab open, I'm not kidding, for about 2 months on my laptop, saying, do I order it, do I don't, I don't know. And it comes with, oh, my daughter nicked it, comes with a little hand cream and hand wash. My daughter's been stealing my things. It's cute. God, really, I'm sorry my hair is so terrible. I feel like I should tie it back or something. It was looking fine before, I'm sure. Maybe it's okay. So the curls aren't too bad today, but it looks weird up here. But I also, along with this lovely mug, I also ordered this lip balm. Can you see? Let me see and focus on it. There. It's got a squirrel on it. It's so cute. And there's a lip balm, and it comes with a mirror. You can see the books. I've got these stacked on books today because I couldn't find the top of my tripod. This is for the camera, but the bit that goes in the tripod I've misplaced somewhere. I was trying to get the telescope out on a tripod to watch the stars, the planets, the planetary alignment, but I couldn't find the correct tripod, and I tried one. I think it's in the cellar, who knows. But anyway, my grandmother's maiden name was Squirrel with 2 L's, and she had this really cute hairbrush when I was little. Excuse me, hang on. She had this really cute hairbrush when I was little that had kind of dark red bristles, sort of browny red bristles. And she said that she was a squirrel until she got married, and then they chopped off her tail and made it into this hairbrush. And obviously I believed her, we all believed her. So she always used her tail, her bristly tail, to brush her hair to keep the squirrel with 2 L's. So when I saw this, as well as the mug, I kind of had to order it, so I did eventually. And it's got a little mirror inside, like I said, and lip balm. and it's so cute. And I got 3. I was going to give one to my mum, but I knew she wouldn't do anything with it. She just doesn't. She wouldn't anyway before. She keeps all precious things, but so I gave it to my brother's girlfriend because I know that she'd use it. And the other one's my sister, so she'll be getting that whenever my brother meets up with her this week. Excuse me, hang on. Gosh, am I talking too much? But it was just great. So I've got my lip balm, I've got my new favourite mug, and I saw my brother, and it was cool, and it was really, really great experience. And then last night I had to go to another school, another girls' school, to look at it, and it's meant to be really good, but it's in a different part of town that's more, more residential. It was amongst lots of houses, and it has another school next to it, and they share a swimming pool. And there were lots of people there. I didn't get the impression they needed to really attract people to their school, maybe because of its location. Location is very good. It's around the corner from another gymnasium, grammar school, the one we went to on Tuesday, which was mixed. A really old, beautiful building, tiles on the inside, almost like London Underground tiles. That was 4 stories, 5 stories at one point actually, a little bit on the top. This one is like concrete hell. And I have the bit where you do the homework in the daytime in the middle, so you've got no natural daylight, just all these sort of nice seating areas. A bit tired really. It was a bit tired. I think it is a good school, but it seemed tired and doesn't have that much investment, although it's also städtisch. They get extra money from the city as well as from the state of Bavaria. And this other one is also that, but seems to have better investment. I mean, the rooms were locked. We couldn't see the science labs. We couldn't see the music room. And there was one room where they can spend time in the afternoons, which had a big chessboard and some cushions and one of those football tables. That was it. It was just kind of strange. Didn't see the pool, didn't see the sports hall, didn't see the outdoor area. I know it was dark by that point, but still it was weird, and everything was congregated in the entrance hall, all these little tables, all the teachers and the languages. It felt like a mini trade fair or something. So yeah, I didn't stay too long. My daughter didn't come along. She was still a bit poorly and also couldn't be asked. So yeah, welcome to my life with my child. My boy loves to do everything, comes along. He has energy without bounds. She's a little indoor cat and just wants to sit down and do nothing. So yeah, that was that. And she wishes she'd come along because they were selling candy floss and popcorn, but I bought her back a little bag of popcorn. And it's probably still number 2 back up if the other school doesn't come through, but we're hoping we'll get a place at the other school. And she got her German test back this week, and she got the 2 for it, which is like a B, which is fine, completely great. Especially, I looked at it, I struggle a bit with the questions, so I think she did great, answered it great. We did some revision before it again. I did this online thing called Sofa Tutor that you pay for. I got 30 days free and found loads of things, really exactly what the test was. And they have video explanations, online tests. You can then also print out PDFs for them to do. And I think it just triggered her memory. I think she knew it, but it triggered her, so that was good. But anyway, that aside, I'm happy about that. So other things going on. And tomorrow, it's the beginning of the half-term holidays for the kids here. I know UK had it last week, I think. And now my boy's in school. He has holidays same time as his sister, whereas kindergarten didn't have that many holidays. So tomorrow we're heading off to some friends in another part of Germany, about 4 hours away, and we'll be staying till Tuesday, which means my husband has Sunday to himself. He works Mondays. Excuse me. Gosh, sorry. And I think he needs time because it's been a bit relentless with sick kids at home and all these school visits and things. And yeah, they get to see their friend, their friend from kindergarten, British family we're staying with, and we'll hang out there. And on the way back, I might go and visit this couple that we've known all my life, who are neighbours when I was born, back in the mid-70s. But I'm not sure that they're ready to see anyone. They have a little bit of a hoarding mentality, well, she does. And I know last time my sister contacted her, she wouldn't let her in the house. So we'll see. I think I might call her today, but I'm a bit scared because I haven't spoken to her for years. And if you're on the phone, then she doesn't go. So I need to call her when I have no other commitments for the next hour, which kind of puts me off calling her. But anyway, that's a whole different topic again. They're kind people, and they used to be really sweet when we were younger. They were like, almost like, we used to call them uncle and aunt, whatever the names were, so they were sweet. But no, that was my week, and honestly, classical concerts are the way forward. I recommend going to classical concerts. I know you have free ones, cheap ones. UK has the South Bank Centre, which is wonderful. My father-in-law used to play there. He was in the Royal Philharmonic for many, many years. Coincidence that my brother and my father-in-law are both classical musicians. He died, golly, 20 years ago this year. He was the head bassoon for the RPO for years, Royal Philharmonic. He was at the Northern Symphony before that, which is how the family ended up in Northumberland and the gorgeous family house they had up there. But he was old school musician, and the stories he would tell from tour back then, because they'd tour for 2 weeks at a time with no mobile phones and just be gone. And he'd have a concert every 2 or 3 days, so they'd have all this time off. Musicians get subs as well when they go away. They get a daily rate, which they get given in cash, either each day or at the beginning of the trip. I remember my brother once having a concert, and the first one was in Munich, and I met him at the hotel when they checked them in. Like, they herd them like cats. I mean, classical musicians are incapable of looking after themselves. Everything's booked for them. Here's your plane ticket, meet you at the airport, put your luggage here, we'll put your luggage on the bus, we'll take you to the hotel. They get to the hotel, here's an envelope with your room key and €1,000 in cash for the next 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever. And you get breakfast included, but not any other meals. And sometimes you really have no time between rehearsals and concerts, so you have to eat at the hotel, and then you've got the cheapest thing is €25 or something, and that's your subs for the day, sometimes gone. So subs aren't always amazing, but they can be depending where you are and how much you're spending. And famously, you get sub savers, those that spend nothing and just buy crackers and eat a big breakfast. And then you've got those, which was my father-in-law, who would go off and play tennis and go to the cinema on his nights off. And because he played bassoon, he didn't always play in every concert, or he'd play the first half. Once he walked on, played a note and walked off again. But they all get paid their salary anyway. It was a great life back then, I think. There was a reason that they had 2 houses. I know they came from sunny, well-off families, but he still was good with his money, and they did well. And he loved his job. He just loved it. My brother loves his job, although it's a bit harder now. You have to hustle more. And he founded his own orchestra during lockdown where he lives, with his girlfriend and his best friend, who also lives near there, in the west of London. I should maybe talk about them some point, because they need more people to support them, and it's quite a wealthy area where he lives, sort of west of London, and a lot of musicians live there. So he started the orchestra to bring the musicians together in lockdown who had no jobs. He had no work for an entire year, no income, no work for an entire year, and said this needs to be changed because we can't have this happen again. So many friends of his worked for Amazon and delivery and things like that, because you have to live. I mean, especially if you're freelance, you go from salary or potential salary to nothing. He had everything cancelled, every single thing, for 1 whole year. And then he started this series of concerts, an orchestra, and they get different musicians to play depending on what they're doing, and it's eclectic and different and cool. And I have yet to be with one, but I see what they do, and it's so beautiful. I'll link their website below, just in case anyone lives in the UK close by, because it's awesome. Such awesome musicians. His wedding present to me was a string quartet, and he paid his friends to come and play music. It's just the best. So there we go. As someone who used to be into heavy metal as well, you can like all music. That's also the point. You can like all music. You don't have to be discriminatory and say, I only like this, I only like that. I used to love Guns N' Roses. I was a massive Guns N' Roses fan, and then I switched suddenly and became a huge Sting fan when I was in my A-levels. And and Michael Jackson, I went to see him in 1988 at the Milton Keynes Bowl. That was the first ever concert. I was 13? Yes, I was. My battery's about to die. I think I better go. But yeah, so music is the best. Music is good for your brain, it's good for your heart, it's good for your health. And I'm going to sign off now and post this hopefully this afternoon, and I'll post a link to the live thing they're showing in Hamburg, because it'd be great, I think, if they show really good. He's amazing. If you've got this far, thank you for listening to me rant, and I shall hopefully see you in the next one. Have a great end of week, rest of week, beginning of week, evening, morning, whatever, and hope to see you in the next one. And thank you for watching. Cheerio!